Welcome to Joshua 002. Chapter 8 is full of Joshua taking of Ai and wiping them out with an ambush. Others will now pay attention that God isn't playing. After all this, God sent Joshua back into Ai. It is yours now. The circumstances of life cause for a short memory. God is always reminding. Joshua chose 30,000 men to Ai. Take it in ambush. Joshua said, they are doing hook and book. It's ours. Ai didn't know there were 30,000 men in wait outside the town. Joshua stretched out his spear, and Ai was set on fire. And the men of Ai were struck down. None survived. 12,000 people of Ai were destroyed. The livestock and possessions were plundered. The king of Ai was hung. Nobody was left in Ai, as they were all after Joshua, who wasn't even there. Hey, Ai, you blinked. Joshua fights nasty. Now Joshua sits down and writes the law, the 10 Commandments, and Jewish ordinances given him by Moses, including blessings and cursings. In chapter 9, the Gibeonites were afraid of Israel and decided to fake Joshua out by showing up as poor and decrepit. Joshua fell for it. When he found that they had made them slaves to the Israelites for life, in chapter 10, Joshua now finds the Gibeonites were about to be at war and needed Joshua's help. This time, Joshua involves the Lord. The Amorites didn't know what hit them. And yes, Joshua did it again. I know this is getting old, but the rest of chapter 10 is rather gruesome. Chapter 11 is not much better. And you know who started it all? Dum, da, da, dum. Chapter 12 is all about who lost. Roll call. Chapter 13, God tells Joshua, we ain't done yet, but you getting old, fella. Chapter 14, God has conversations with Caleb, who is only 21 years old, and Joshua gives him a boost. Chapter 15, Joshua now takes on the Amorites. God said, no need to worry. God held back the sun and the moon for this battle. There are too many theories for how this extended day happened, but it's easier just to believe that God did it. Hamstrung horses are cut so they can only be used for farming and not for fighting. The Canaanites used their horses for worship and military buildup, which is a bad move. Their trust in God could have wavered because of the newly conquered items. The cities of that time were city-states. The kings of that time were rulers of very small towns right next to each other. Population of each town was likely a couple hundred. Some high schools are bigger than that. The principal of the high school was the king of the land in those days. Joshua came from the tribe of Ephraim. Joshua was about 100 years old here. Caleb is 85. Judah is also known as Judea. Joshua says, I ain't done yet. Chapter 15 is all about the allotments of Judah. Chapter 16, 17, 18, and 19. Chapter 20, well, here we go with Joshua still. Now they deal with the cities of refuge, lest we forget. Chapter 21 deals with towns for Levites. Remember, the Levites didn't get an allotment of land because they will take care of the tabernacle of meeting in Shiloh, in the territory of Ephraim in Bethel. It will be there for 369 years. Next stop, Jerusalem. Today, you can't go to Shiloh due to the tyranny in the land. Today, it would cost $50 million to rebuild the tabernacle. The tabernacle covers more literary chapters than any other subject in the Bible. Jericho and Jerusalem are in the city of Benjamin. Jerusalem was previously Jebus. Kish, the father of Saul, is a Benjamite. Saul will be discussed more in Samuel. Judah and Benjamin will share the city of Jerusalem. They are the two southern kingdoms. Levi doesn't get a land allotment because they are spread throughout all the tribes of Israel, being judges for each tribe. The tribe of Simeon gets wiped out in 2 Chronicles. They are decimated. Samson was a Danite. Jordan River, Jor, meaning north of Dan. In chapter 22, the 2.5 tribes headed back to their home front on the other side of the Jordan and built an altar there because of being on the other side of the Jordan. Everyone thought it was to worship other gods and rose a stink about it until they explained it was just a closer altar and not to fear. Chapter 23, Joshua says goodbye. 23 and 24 are Joshua's last words to Israel. He is 110 years old. He gets their focus on God. 2,600 times in the Old Testament, the Bible was authoritative. Thus says God, said the Lord, etc. There are 400 silent years after Malachi that John the Baptist was born. The Bible then comes back to life. It was Joshua who said, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Ephesians is the New Testament counterpart of Joshua. The book of Revelation is the book of Joshua on steroids. The two witnesses in Joshua, two witnesses in Revelation. The glove covers the hand. The hand does the work, but the glove protects it. You are the hand. The Holy Spirit is the glove. Grab hold of things you normally can't, and the Holy Spirit will enable you. With the Holy Spirit in you, you're all set. Believe it or not, we are done with Joshua. Lots of blood and guts that you can read about if you wish. As for me, I'm off to the book of Judges. Talk to you later.